Before we start this episode, I just want to give a big shout out to LEXII. LEXII is a shoe store, clothing store. They have a store located in Modesto at Vince's Fair Mall. They also have a store coming to Fresno. I don't believe they're going to have shoes, but it wouldn't hurt to, talk shoe game with them. Big shout out to them. You guys want some fire kicks, fire clothing? Hit them up. Enjoy the episode. All right, well, we could just get into it. I already did my intro before y'all came.
Oh, okay.
Here. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm ready to go.
Talking with Ty. Testing, 1, 2.
We got to do a mic check or are we good?
Nah, we're good. Everything's already set up, ready to go. Cameras
Ty, I
on.
don't even, you can't run this podcast this time. I'm running.
Go ahead, run it.
This is all me and
All right, so this is going to be talking with Jeron.
Oh, my God.
I heard that. I remember that one from the last one.
People
He's all, they can call me whatever. They can call me Jeron. As long as they pay me that money.
Coach Slater been calling me Pierre.
All right, I like that.
Name.
I like that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, here.
We good. Get the baby's water bottle.
Who?
So how old's your daughter?
3. Oh, my God. 3 bad as hell.
Hey, it is. Everyone talks about terrible 2s. 3s are way worse than
I
2s.
feel like my kids already going through terrible twos.
Hey, 3s get worse.
Yeah. So you gonna lead this podcast, dude? I'm gonna let you lead this podcast this one. I'm gonna sit here and listen. I feel like I need to be a guest on somebody's podcast. Be my own.
I want to.
Hey,
do
this
more.
is kind of weird because this is the first time I'm on the other side of it.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. I was gonna ask you to be on yours too at one point, but I wanted to wait until I wanted to wait until I got like established, like what I'm doing now. Before I don't want to just go and be like, oh, I'm getting there.
Dude, you didn't even tell me you were going to France, bro.
I know. First of all, we ain't gonna talk about last time because we didn't even end up talking about it because of you, though. To keep it jiggy, bro. I don't want to repeat the last time.
I'm not drinking Tito's, dude. Relax. Man, what's up, Coach?
Oh, not much, man. Good to see both of you. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Bro.
Yeah, man, it's good, man. I'm glad both of you have been successful, man. I don't know how many of y'all are successful. I'm glad.
Your boy, yeah, huh? I guess from our class, there's only like not even a handful.
I guess the biggest person I kind of want to know how he's doing is my man Coach Fly. He's probably the one I kind of want to know how he's been.
Yo, no bullshit. My parents used to live on the other side.
Young entrepreneur.
Used to live on the other side of him, so they would see him all the time.
He good?
Yeah, he's doing good. He looks like he's doing good.
Okay.
Yeah, my man's doing well. I see my boy every once in a while.
Young entrepreneur. I'm trying to think. We got a man. You just said you had Marty Lusala on the pod not too long ago.
Yes, sir. Marty Moolah.
It's not even Lusala. It's Moolah. It's Moolah.
Yeah, man.
Changed his whole government name.
The real ones know.
Trying to think. And then you guys said Alan Clem working at a smoke shop, or
he's actually on the other side right here.
okay.
My boy AC running the business.
I see Big John every once in a while. I run into him every once in a while. He's where he's at, Westwoods, working at Westwoods.
He's too damn big to be working anywhere.
Trying to think who else. Who else we got?
You know who I ain't seen in forever? Dejan.
Bro, I don't even think he lives here anymore.
I don't even know what he looked like no more.
He don't even live here.
That's crazy.
His dad probably still yelling.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to think, is that it? Anybody else?
We had a lot of young people.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about your guys' class.
Oh, our class.
Our class, yeah.
I don't think we missed nobody.
It.
I see Jose Medina every once in a while.
Yeah.
He works at the Walmart in Clovis.
By
my house. So I was there one time getting like cereal. Like early in the morning, and he was there like leaving. I was like, "Oh, what you doing?" He was like, "What's up, Coach?"
He probably thought you was about to yell at him.
He started running suicides at Walmart,
hitting them liners in the parking lot.
Bear crawls right there.
But yeah, I think that's really it. Trying to yeah. But no, I'm doing good, man. I'm glad you guys are all doing well, man. This is exciting though, man. I hope this podcast thing works out for you. I know we were talking a little bit before.
Yeah,
it's a grind, man.
Too.
This podcast thing.
Ty about to inspire me to make my own, but once I got time, it's like I said, I was telling Ty last time, like it's fun. I ain't never like really like did this before, but I'm like open to it for sure.
No, it's cool because I think
it's dedication though.
No, yeah, and that's what we were just talking about before. Just like you always gotta like be consistent and then just getting those people, and that's where it becomes tough, is just consistently getting the guests.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun, and then, so I think I imagine you probably have like a list of dudes or people that you want to get on, and then you go through that list, but it's just like what we talked about, it's finding the time, right? Like,
I'm trying to get the big celebrities right now.
Yeah, this man's trying to hit home runs.
Tyler's shooting for the stars already.
But it's just, trying to get the time, like, hey, like when your schedule's available, and then when their schedule's available, you know what I'm saying? That's the hardest part, is trying to make sure everyone's schedules line up and everything. But, nah, it's good.
Damn, so you guys to get on my podcast before you got on his?
Who?
Before you got on his, you got on mine.
At the time, he already had his, and I was like, okay. I was like,
I already had mine too. What are you trying to say?
He had it first, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He got like 84 episodes. This is the 12th one.
See?
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it would be good, and I felt like you would have some good questions for me. So I was like, I think I would be able to do it. But I didn't want to do nothing before I really, like I said, I didn't want to do nothing before I was established. Yeah, I'm grinding right now.
Yeah.
Hey, you
going to France, man. That's tight. Dude, how you gonna go over there and not know what the fuck they telling you?
Hey, bro, like I said, all I need to know is oui, which is hi. Bye. I learned how to say thank you. I think it's medicine, something like that. Yeah, and I know how to say basketball. It's ballon de basket. I know how to
pass.
The basket.
You better learn how to say pass. You better tell them dudes to pass.
I don't know how to say pass.
You need a whole sentence. Give me ball. Yeah. That's it. Not even a full sentence. Just give me ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, Coach Slater been telling me like, get on like we got the little translate thing on our phone. So he was like, just like learn words, like stuff you need to like know how to say and like stuff like that. So I'm trying to like do the basics like for now, so I can at least like know how to get by, that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to like learn like new words and stuff every day. So
how long are you gonna be out there for?
10 months, bro. 10 long.
And that's it. Like that's the contract that you have. 10 months.
My contract is 10 months. Yeah, but it's like possible that I could like play and then get moved up, bumped up. Like it could be possible I could be going for longer or like.
So after the 10, I mean, prayerfully they don't. But could they drop you like right there?
Yeah, for sure. Overseas, like they like. You're American, and I think it's only like 2 Americans allowed on each team. And, like American, like we known for our sports, we good or whatever. They expect you to perform. If you're not performing, you got to go. I got a couple people that play overseas right now. They always be telling me like how it is. Like you got to perform. Like one of my boys that trained with me, his name Rocky. He playing in I think he playing in Uruguay right now. Yeah. I
think at Central.
Yeah. That's my guy.
That's Slater's boy right there.
Yeah. So he played in Chile, and I think he had a good game. Like he had like 24 or something like that. But he just like his 3-point shot wasn't falling, and they was mad that his 3-point shot wasn't falling. They sent him home. I was like, damn, it's like that. Like, bro, you gotta perform. You feel me? Or you gotta go.
Yeah, they expect you to like go get 30 every night.
Yeah, bro.
Just because I'm American?
Yeah.
Cause like, yo, come over here. Come try to get 30 over here, bro. Fuck it.
Hey, bro, they paying you and you over there, bro. You got to do your thing.
So you big into French cuisine?
No. Low key, I actually think I am. Like, I think I like it.
You like snails?
Okay, the snails. I ain't never tried nothing like that. I'm scared of that for sure.
This man's been like, I eat croissants.
I for sure eat croissants. Pizza, right? That's like a.
That's not French.
That's Italian. What is it? French fry? No, bro, I don't know.
They gonna see it overseas, put it in translation, and be like, we don't even know what the hell pizza is. And gotta send them home.
Because I think Italian pizza is different than like American pizza.
For real?
Yeah.
I think it is, right?
It is.
We gonna find out.
We
bro.
Americanize everything.
But once again, you going to France, not Italy, so.
Damn. I don't know. I know it got to be McDonald's out there, so I might be big.
Yeah,
on
McDonald's. I think their McDonald's is better than ours.
Movie Beauty and Beast, ain't that France? Like I feel like you gonna go to.
It is.
I feel like you're gonna go to some village like that.
I'm gonna be staying in a small town, so yeah, it's on, bro.
Just gonna be playing in some small little.
And is there the other American is? Do you know that person?
Not at all. I don't know none of my teammates.
So you're just gonna go to them and be like, "Who speaks English?"
Yeah, pretty much. Only person I met so far is my coach. That's it.
Do you speak English?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They wrote me, sent me an email in English.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Their English be a little off, like they got they put the wrong words like in the.
He
wrong
said, "Hey Siri." That's what he did.
Yeah. He said, "Google translate French to English."
But I understood. I understood it enough, so that's good enough.
All right, I got a question for you. Did you ever think that he could get this far in his basketball career? Because I always told him he was going to make it.
First of all,
I thought it would have been NBA already, but.
First of all, Jeron knows. I feel like if he would have followed my path, he would have been there a lot sooner. But that's just me.
What was it? Okay, what was your path? I'm putting you on blast, Jeron.
So he did say like college wasn't his thing, and I understood that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny because I'm actually in education now, and I hated school, and school was just not for me. But I think I understood. Like one of the biggest things I remember talking with my high school coach was like, he's just like, when you go to school, like the relationships you can make and the relationships you can form from there, right? Like you're going to meet different people that will help. The path is already going to be paved, right? So they're going to know what to do to help get you there. So like my biggest thing is I knew Jeron, obviously you guys talked about it last one, like my man wouldn't graduate in high school on time. He's going to have to go to summer school. But like my biggest thing was like, we were talking about the different junior college, and there's no knock against Reilly College. For crying out loud, I went to Reilly College. And so I kind of also knew what goes on at Reilly College, and I definitely know what goes on in them dorm rooms.
Hey, yo, you let that out last pod.
Hey, I definitely know what happens in the dorms. All right, so that's a whole nother story. And then I also like knew like at Reilly College, there's nothing against it, but like if you look at the league that they play in, and if you go we look at it, right? The league goes from I think from Merced to we'll say Visalia, right? And then you have like West Hills, but you just think about how many colleges are in those regions, right? Like you have Fresno State, you have Fresno Pacific, right? That's really kind of the only 4 years you got, right? Mm-hmm. And so most likely Fresno State and Fresno Pacific have already kind of looked at you. But like my biggest thing is I was kind of like, hey, you need to go outside of the Central Valley. And one of the schools I wanted him to go to was Sierra Junior College up in Sacramento. They actually had dorms, which are way nicer than the Reilly dorms. But
Sac is, I mean, the town, depending on where you go, it's kind of shit. But
no, yeah,
other parts of it is
it's like in Roseville.
Schools are nice.
Yeah, like it's in Roseville, Rockland area. But like the coolest thing is like how they ran that junior college was they run like a D1. Their coach was a former D1 like assistant. Like one of my buddies was assistant there, and like they sent a lot of guys D1. And then there's another one I know you're talking like with Riverside with Shannon Tylere,
mm-hmm.
and like he was, you know what I'm saying, like he has a lot of connections, and that was like the biggest thing is just getting him to a place, an opportunity where he could go. And like, let's be honest, man, like if you're talented, people are going to find you. And like, I'll be 100% honest. Like I was on academic probation when I played at Fresno Pacific. Like I had like a 2.3 graduating junior. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in high school, I was barely eligible. Like the only time I actually had over 2.0 was when I played basketball because I could care less about anything else. You know, like I literally graduated high school with the exact amount of units you needed to graduate. So like I understood, right? Like I understood that. And so like my biggest thing was like go somewhere where they're going to make sure they're going to take care of you. And like I had teammates at Fresno Pacific where we had an assistant coach who was literally up every morning to make sure these kids, you know, we had teammates who were in class at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. That was part of their job. And I knew going to these colleges, they would make sure he's at class. He is doing what he needs to do, right? Like, they're not expecting him to get into Harvard or Yale 3.0, 4.0, but he's going to be able to maintain, get him off to somewhere, right? Like, get him to a 4-year where then he's going to get looks at. Like, I also remember sending film about him to Portland in the West Coast Conference, and they absolutely loved him until I had to be like, what are his grades? You get what I'm saying?
Damn, bro, you still didn't pick that shit up?
I'm sorry, bro. I was
you know what I'm saying?
Honestly,
like,
I got mad right now. I can't lie.
No.
Bro.
He also, like, I paid money for him to go to these camps.
I told you he was your favorite.
No, but I knew. No, like
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he had an opportunity, and, like, I used to always be like, hey, man, like, what AAU team you playing? He's like, I'm playing on my Pops AAU team. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, that's cool. Like,
what? You were playing on your Pops?
Bro, it was like
what was it, a double cup team?
Family on. Oh my god!
And so,
yeah, for sure.
I was trying to get him to go play with Chaos and try to get. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna play.
Which I did. I did.
Chaos was hard to get into.
Great opportunity.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so like I remember him. Like we got him into like a showcase, and like literally, I think it was Gary Freitas, who's a well-renowned, like, who does great scouting reports for high school. Like, a lot of college coaches listen to him and everything. He talked about Jeron being the best unsigned shooting guard in his class in California.
Damn, bro, you was you was slacking, my guy.
Bro, I was for sure.
But you know
I
what I'm
talked
saying?
about
Like,
it.
and I used to, and I remember having conversations with him. And I remember my first conversation with Jeron. I was like, "Hey, do you want to go?" He's like, "I never even thought about going to college." And like, I don't even know if he ever thought like. And I think that's probably like my biggest frustration. You can be in the same boat too. Like my biggest frustration with like our Hoover team was, like I try to make sure I gave you guys every resource to be successful. Yeah. And what I did was, like, every Sunday I opened up the gym. Man, I opened up the gym Tuesday, Thursday mornings. Man, I remember Richard. You all remember little Asian Richard who was in special ed?
Rich. Oh, my God.
That man went to more open up the gym to get shots up in the morning on Tuesday, Thursdays than anybody else. And my man just, like – and so, like – and I used to bring in trainers. Like, we had – like, Slater was in the gym every Sunday. We had John Egan was in the gym every Sunday. Like, Mike Hill was in the gym. What frustrated me too, like Daryl Edwards would be up in there, Bryson Williams, Ethan Richards. Like we'd have like that's where I met Jonah and Jaden Jeron. Like they were in the Hoover gym, like working out with different people, and I couldn't get none of y'all in the gym.
I came sometimes.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't
sometime.
remember any of that.
I came sometime. Coach Slater always get on me about like you wasn't coming and stuff.
No, and because that's my thing. Because like I was like, and my biggest thing was like I know for a fact like. There's enough opportunities. Like, if you truly want to play basketball, like, there's enough opportunities. And that was my biggest thing is, like, I'll help you. I'll do whatever I can to get you there because, like, the last thing I'm going to do is, like, shit on people's dreams. But at the same time, like, it ain't easy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be prepared. And my biggest thing is, like, and I'll be honest, like, I coach how, like, coaches I play for, which means I play for assholes. Y'all both know that.
Yes. Very much so, yes.
But, like, at the same time, like, I was always big on, like, and I feel like my coaches prepared me too. Like, if you can play for me, you can play for any coach in America. And that's what was my biggest thing is, and that's what I always wanted to make sure is like, and I felt like I remember going to FPU, like I love Coach Saya, but there were some things I was like, oh damn, like this, like y'all thought I was an asshole. There's, you know, like this guy take it to another level, right? Like, and there's other coaches that I came across too that were, I'm not gonna name names because some of him are still in the Valley, so I can't say shit, but. But, like, my thing is, like, hey, I want to prepare you for the mental and physical game because wherever you go, you're going to be prepared. But it's also, like, preparing you for life. Like, because you're always going to be around people, like, you don't want to work for. But at the end of the day, like, you got to get the job done. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like, that was my biggest frustration. I tried to take you guys to everywhere, like, you could help get, like, notoriety. I took you. You guys talked about the Cal Baptist camp, right? Like, I want to put you guys in places where you're going to see we're not just going to go to a random tournament where you're just going to play high school games. Or like, we went to Cal Baptist. We got absolutely ran.
Oh, my God.
Honestly, I forgot to talk about this in the last pod. That's the first time I seen a white boy dunk on you, bro. No, don't. Nah. I wish there was film on that, bro, because I was like.
We all three of the teams that we played the year before and that year, they were in the state championship. Like, and, like, one of the dudes, I know one of the guys is in the NBA. Like, one of the bigs, like, is in the league. Oh, like, shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is too is like I'm gonna put you in opportunities where you're gonna be successful, and like if you can play against those guys, which were like a lot of those dudes, like we played against, like every team had like multiple D1 guys that we played against. So like if you're playing well against them, you know what I'm saying? Like the coaches are gonna be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so that was my biggest thing is I put you in those positions to be successful. It's either you're gonna sink or swim. And another frustrating part was too is like I remember G would always have the analytics. When we ran I'll never forget this stat. When we ran our offense, we scored over 80% of our time. When we did not run our offense, we scored less than 20% of the time. When y'all just want to just do your own thing.
Have statistics like crazy. That man.
The frustrating part is like we never would follow a scouting report to the day I live. I got a scar on my thing from y'all remember Sunnyside? I got a scar. From that.
I haven't talked about that one.
We got to talk about a lot of them, bro. I ain't going to lie.
The funniest thing is I was assistant coach for another school, and we're playing at Sunnyside. And we went in the gym.
You had to use that same.
No, we went to the locker room.
Use that same board.
We went to the locker room, and like the coach, like one of the coaches, like, hey, do you guys not have a whiteboard for the visiting team? And one of like. I think it might have been. I don't think it was Sue Farmer, the AD, but it was somebody else. Was like, nah, like there was a coach who punched a hole in it, and we never got it replaced. And I was like, man, that's the most frustrating part, man. People ain't gonna take care of other people's stuff,
bro. You know what's funny? I was hanging.
Tim Carey did say he was gonna we were gonna send to pay for that. So that's, hey man, I don't know what happened.
Tim
like,
Carey retired now. He not trying to do that.
The funny thing is, Ethan just told me, I was kicking it with him like a couple weeks ago. He literally told me a story. We was talking about you, and he was like, I remember he was coaching us in AAU one time, and he drew up.
Did I break a whiteboard?
Yeah, bro. He was like during halftime, he was like, you was quiet, and you did this same thing to us before. He was like, he was just quiet when halftime started, and then out of nowhere he started talking, and then out of nowhere he was just like, wow, the whiteboard broke, and then you got quiet again, and then halftime was about to be over. He said, you picked up the other little 25% of the whiteboard and started drawing up. It was like, we're gonna do this, and this. And so Ethan was like, bro, it was like this much of a whiteboard.
Hey,
I was like, oh shit, bro, I know that's real.
So this is a true story. Ethan Richardson, I think he was probably 7th or 8th grade. I coached him, right? And we played against this kid who was like the #1 like player in his grade level, future #1 overall pick. He actually became the #1 overall pick. But Ethan was giving this man buckets.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton. I'm gonna tell you, DeAndre Ayton, Ethan, like he could not guard Ethan.
I remember Ethan told me about that.
Because Ethan, he could shoot the three, like he would come out, extend them, but then it would be frustrating because he just out here just working. DeAndre Ayton at the time was like 6'7", 6'8", because Ethan was like that tall too.
Yeah.
But then he just get bullied. The next game we played like a little 6'2", like 6'3", and then Ethan just get bullied around. It's like, yo man, like you out here dominating the future, like McDonald's All-American, possibly #1 overall pick, and then you out here giving up buckets to Nate Leal. Like, what's going on? No disrespect, Nate.
Big Nate.
There. No disrespect, but he ain't no DeAndre Ayton.
That's crazy.
No, I think that was probably the most frustrating part. But like we had talent. Like we talked about that before. Like we were talented. Like both times, like I was like, man, like we have the talent to win. It's just I don't think we ever had the buy-in. That was probably the most frustrating part.
Nah.
I think honestly, my opinion, I'm gonna say it's because we were kids.
Don't say coaching because I'll get the fuck up and leave.
Nah, I don't think it was coaching. I think it was more of like a lot of kids that we went to school with, parents weren't really involved. So for them trying to go to all these weekend things, like they barely made it to school.
Yeah.
So like it was hard to put. I mean, like they probably wanted to, but I mean, shit, we were kids at the time.
Knuckleheads, bro. Our senior class.
And I think that was probably the frustrating part because I remember you guys talked about we had so many different starting lineups, and it would be like, oh, like somebody would play well, and then all of a sudden that person, but then that person would show up to practice.
Oh,
do you know what I'm saying? So then it's like, I can't start you. And so then like we'd even go and it'd be like, oh, like we're going to have practice and like we're going to have a scouting report. This is what we're going to work on. And I'm going to start so-and-so. And then so-and-so ain't there. Like, no offense, like Alan Clem's like, I got to go home, whatever. Like, I can't be. So it's like, all right. So now we're putting in somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, like we're going to start Mac or Jose or something like that. And then all of a sudden they're not there. It's like, all right, now I'm going – I don't know, like Herbert or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
see, I see he's buff as fuck now.
My boy Herb.
Might be able to use him as a big man.
Yeah. Shout out my boy Herb.
But you know what I'm saying? It was like stuff like that where it's just like, all right. And then it was just, and I remember like we had so many close games. Like Roosevelt, like we barely, you know what I'm saying? Like we barely lost. Like, and it was just those things. It's like, we're just right there. Like, and I felt like we could never get over that hump. And then it'd just be like, and I just felt like, it was crazy too, because like even in the playoffs, I felt like if we got past, both times like we lost in the first round, and I was like, if we get past this, like we'll go on a run. And I just felt like we never like. It's just like if you can just believe and buy in, then it was like it'll be a wrap.
My senior, when I played varsity, we should have won that first playoff game.
My junior year and my senior year, our playoff games was close too. Close games.
We should have won that. At least mine.
Hanford was cold though. They had a little squad.
They did, but we could have won.
Yeah, but Hanford, I think they just won like 2 state section championships. You know what I'm saying? Like
they were good.
That's what I'm saying. Like I felt like we had the talent, we had the team. You know what I'm saying?
We were talking about that too. The last time he was over here, we had talent.
Yeah.
You know, like we had the talent, we had the team. It was just we could just for some reason never put it together for 4 quarters, and that was always the biggest frustration. But.
And it's kind of like NBA, kind of like an NBA, like how NBA is too. Like I think we had a young team. Like we had a lot of sophomores on our team, and they were like DJ started for us a lot. Mac played a lot. Jose started, Sometimes Genesis will start. It was just,
I think it was just one of those things. Like we needed, like it was one of those things too. It was like, all right, I got to build
for next year.
I got to build for the future.
For sure.
I got to build for the future. At the same time, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that junior class, like besides your class, the junior class really didn't have anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you had like Marlon was super talented, but Marlon, my man, never went to class, never had great. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not somebody I could rely on. Like there was nobody in that class I could rely on. So it's like, all right, let me go to like the sophomores where I can work with them, build with them.
Yeah.
And they had good length. But yeah, it was just one of those things. Like I felt like I always wish I had like if I'd have got you guys when you guys were like sophomores. If I'd had that extra, you know what I'm saying? I felt like things would have been way, way different.
We did go through like 3 coaches.
Yeah. Because there was just a lot of turnover, and like I think my first year I got the job so late, it was like never got to build. Like that first year was just trying to like build my culture, build my expectations. I think you guys started figuring it out, and then I ended up leaving, and that's a whole other situation because there was things I was promised and things that they were gonna do that.
You're a VP now. You can't talk about shit like that on.
No, I'll talk about it. Just
fire. I need it.
Yeah, I got no problem.
I want to know.
I got no problem. So, like, it was one of the biggest things is that we came in and they told me, like, hey, like, your whatever debt you have is going to be wiped clean. Like, you're going to come in free. Like, everything's going to be taken care of, whatever. And, like, they even told me, like, hey, we're going to try to run it like a, like, Clovis school, whatever. Like, Wani, Tioga are going to be your kids. And I was like, I don't care. Like, I was like, I really don't care as long as, like, my biggest thing is I just don't want people poaching my players. And that was a thing that also pissed me off because I would go to Tim Carey and just be like, hey, like, I got certain coaches. I'm not going to name certain coaches in the league too, but would be like, hey, like, these kids, my players are literally showing me the phone of this coach at X school in our league, literally contacting them, telling them to come to our school, this and that. Like, and that was like the frustrating part. Or like, we'd have coaches like Awani, like the junior high coaches, where it's like they're literally telling kids to go to another school. And I'm like, this is literally your, 10-minute walk from Hoover? And I'm trying to come and trying to go to, like, their practices, but they're not telling me their times. But then I would just show up, and then I would see, like, different coaches from different Fresno Unified schools there. And I'm like, all right, so explain to me how this. And, like, that was a frustrating part. But, yeah, like, I remember raising money. Like, I ended up raising, like, $10,000. And then all of a sudden I got a bill from French's, like, he had bought some stuff, whatever.
That man went crazy,
I think our gear, maybe.
He went crazy.
And so they made me pay it. And then, like, just got wiped clean. But then also, we started the year off, we had no basketballs. And I'm like, I got no ball. And they're like, oh, like, you should have all these balls. I'm like, hey, first of all, here's the ball bin. Unless there's somewhere else. Like, I remember going to the coach's closet, all this. Like,
well, yeah, no, that was when we were in school, no? That's when you ended up buying all of them?
So
I remember that for sure.
So we had to buy all these basketballs. And then I'm like, we have no money to pay for things. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, it was weird. Then all of a sudden, I wanted to go, like, an out-of-town tournament. And then all of a sudden, they're like, it just happened to be a Hoover rule where it's like, oh, because nothing against my man Mike McDonald. I love you, man, but you fell asleep and you fucking rolled a van. And
I remember that, bro. I remember that,
but they changed the rule,
yeah.
right? So now it was just for Hoover. It wasn't a Fresno Unified. It was just a Hoover rule. Now all of a sudden, I got to have 2 adults. And they dropped this on me like 2 days before we were about to leave. And so, like, it was just certain things that are just like, all right, what's going on? And then I think what ended up was frustrating, too, is that Lori Graves, your guys' principal, your guys' junior.
Yeah.
Mrs. Graves, like, she's the one who hired me. Like, she talked about all these different things. And then all of a sudden, she left. And then Weaver came in. And then, like, the things that were talked about and promised just went out the window. And, like, my biggest thing, too, is, like, I always wanted to practice late. And nothing against that. It was just because I knew, like, my freshman JV team, like, they're not going to be able to leave and go back home. Whereas, like, I can keep you guys. We do the study hall. We watch film, do that stuff. But, like, my biggest thing is I was like, hey, like, can I get, like, free and reduced lunch? Right? Like, let me get, like, snacks or different. Because I don't want you guys having – it's a long day for you guys. Like, I don't want to have to you guys going – I definitely didn't want you all at Valero.
I was there.
I was not there.
Yeah, I was
like, go to Shell, but
I wanted to play, and my mom would whoop my ass. So I was cool. But I was at Hoover.
Out here.
across the street sitting there looking at you.
Having a talk with Kafly, like, yo, man, just don't sell during school hours.
Hey, I done been at Valero a couple of times.
Kafly one time, I remember we were leaving practice and we got done. Kafly's like, yo, coach, how you got a job? I make more money than you do. I'm just like, I straight up, and that's why I told Kafly, I was like, Kafly, you're either going to be a millionaire. I was like, you either going to be a millionaire
dog.
Or you going to be behind bars or.
Nah, dog ain't say that,
bro. That's why you were angry coming to practice and made us run on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you had, like, the frustrating parts, too, is, like, I knew Kafly's test scores. How smart that man was. That man was like a genius. Like,
you got to know the mathematics.
Hey, he knew
his actual test scores or just his grades?
No, test scores, not his grades, but his actual test
I was about
scores.
to say, my man did me a couple favors.
Yeah.
Shout out Kafly.
He knew all about grams, man. He knew all about grams. He knew how to go from grams to pounds. Like, he knew all that.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, and so like it was just But I think that was probably like it was just there was things that were like supposed to happen that never happened. And like even like during like trying to get like bus tokens, right? That was my biggest thing because I remember the bus had to like stopped at like 7:15, right, or something like that. And I only drive a pickup. I can't be taking like 30 kids home. I would take whoever I had to take home, but like for some reason too, none of y'all lived. But like you the only one. I feel like the only one that lived by who like everyone else lived super deep. And so it was just like all right, like we'll get done, whatever. But like that was just certain things that was like frustrating. It was just like. Things that, like, I was kind of told I was going to get, I never got. And then even, like, never really got the support for running the HIT tournament, like from, like, the administration and, like, the teachers. And I just felt like it just came so much just on, like, our basketball program. Whereas, I came from Clovis Unified where, like, you have that admin support and you have all those different things and things that they kind of told me, like, hey, they would be there.
You guys had money.
But it's not even like I'm not even talking about the fun. I'm just talking about like, hey, like I need people to help me run it, and like it was one of those things like in Clovis Unified we go and get those people. Whereas Fresno they're like, no, we're gonna hire these people for you. That you don't get a say. But then it's like, yo, man, like these people ain't doing shit or they ain't showing up. So and then like the frustrating part is our gym floor never got swept.
Hell no.
Oh my!
And
it was always slippery. We had people who got injured. I remember Trey, like, he slipped and, like, tweaked his groin. And I remember going, I was like, yo, like, can I sweep? And they're like, no, this is this guy's job. I'm like, well, he leaves, like, at 2:50. We have practice at 3. Like, it's not getting swept. I'm going to sweep it. Just tell me where it's – like, you can't do that. Well, like, somebody got to do it because it's not getting done. And that was the biggest frustration part is, like, things just weren't getting done or things that were supposed to get – and I was just like, I can't – like, I'm going to, like, going insane because it's not even – the basketball portion of it. It's just all the other crap I got to deal with. And like, I need to focus on these kids, these players, and helping them achieve whatever dream they want to achieve. And so that's where I got to the point where I was just like, hey, like, and it was an opportunity. Like Fresno Pacific came up, like an opportunity to coach at FPU. And a lot of it was, I felt like, oh, I can go to FPU and I can probably parlay that into another like head coaching job, another high school head coaching job. Probably 100% honest. Like what I know now, I probably, like me loving and coaching basketball, like I always thought I'd have another opportunity to be a head coach. I probably would have just stayed at Hoover. I honestly think, like, if I would have stayed at Hoover too, like, we would have been able to take, I think I would have had that program absolutely dialed in. Because I feel like, I remember the year you guys graduated that summer with I call them the 5 sophomore. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were out here, like, we won, like, a tournament. Like, we won a Fresno City tournament, and then we started getting guys transferring in, and, like, I had the AAU like thing going and like we had the little kids playing and we had, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I felt like it was on the right thing. It was just like, and I kind of knew I was like, if I don't leave now, like I'm staying for another like 6 years. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm gonna see it through. Or it's like, if I'm gonna leave, let me leave now. And then somebody can come in and kind of have an opportunity to build what they want to build. But.
Damn, that's good. I guess there's a lot into that.
You could have left us and went to FPU.
No, after you guys, I did leave and go to FPU after you guys graduated.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was coaching at FPU. I coached there for 2 years.
Oh yeah, okay. I do remember now. Bro, wait, we gotta talk about that was our junior year. We gotta talk about that too, because if you remember the night before senior night, you remember what happened? Our practice.
Which senior night? Your guys' senior
Nah,
night?
my junior year. Rakim
Yeah, I'm about to say I wasn't there, bro. I was already at home playing video games.
Year. No. No? Oh, okay. Stories on.
Go ahead, tell that.
This is the practice before my junior year, senior night. Rakim them senior nights. My boy Kim. We in practice and we scouting for Daryl. Daryl, you remember? Yeah, you obviously remember Daryl Edwards, J-Bo, all them, whatever. So.
Oh, I remember senior night. What's his name got absolutely dunked on?
Irv.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, take a charge, take him out. Like, my biggest thing was like, don't let him dunk.
And he got
my man just
dunked
kept
on.
Backing up.
And fell into the cheerleaders.
And got Daryl Edwards' balls put in his face.
So the practice before senior night, I thought it was so crazy because I was like, bro, what if this happened to me next year? But we was in practice, we was scouting for Daryl. I think one person was like acting as Daryl, and he was like, deny him, don't let him get the ball, like whatever. Somebody was doing it. I don't even remember who it was, but I just remember we wasn't even in practice for like an hour, and then somebody like let Daryl get the ball like 3 times in a row, and you went berserk and kicked us out of practice. And it was like he was like, you guys can't follow the game plan. Like this is what's gonna happen.
The game plan.
He's like, I don't give a fuck about your senior night. Go home. I was like,
we never followed the game plan.
He kicked us out of practice before senior night. He was like, I don't give a fuck about your senior night. Go home. I was like,
we never followed any game plan. The Jelani McCorvey game plan. It was like, don't let him touch the ball. This man had like 27 at halftime.
Yeah, bro.
That's why I got frustrated.
Nah, Jeron came to school the next day. Yo, we got kicked out of practice. I said, oh, shit, not me.
That was crazy, bro. After this, yeah, bro. I was like, damn, bro. Then we just had to go into the game and just play. And I was like, oh,
no, like
shit.
I remember too, like it was the frustrating part too was like I'm like, hey, there's only really one guy on that Fresno High team who can beat us, like really truly, like was gonna be Daryl, right? Like
easy.
Let's let Lee Major, let's let Aaron, let's let the other dudes beat us, like. Do you know what I'm saying? Like let those guys beat us. I appreciate you. But, like, I'm like, we're just not going to let – when Daryl has the ball, we're going to send a double, make him give it up. When he doesn't, deny him. I feel like that is the most simplest, easy, basic game plan in America.
Yeah.
For some reason –
balling.
For some reason, I'm like, if he does catch it and we can't send a double, like, we're just going to sag off and let him shoot. For some reason, what we would do is – when he doesn't have the ball, we're going to sag off him, just let him catch. And then when he did have the ball, we're going to get up and press him so he could just drive right by us. I'm like, I want to make him a shooter. Like, I'll let Daryl shoot because when he does drive, then it collapses, he can get to the rack, whatever, or then he can just pick and choose. Like, let's sag off, let him shoot. But no, we couldn't follow him.
His form was kind of ugly. I'll be judging everybody's form.
No, I'm saying
there's hella people in your pro-am. I'll be like, how you even get here?
Okay, but bro.
No discipline.
That's an AM pro.
Yeah.
Daryl in high school was a bucket, though.
No,
bro.
he was.
Like,
I got to see him every Sunday.
30 every night.
Saw him every Sunday.
I was like, damn.
And that's another thing that frustrated me too. Like, how many dudes on our team were like fanboys
of Daryl?
Yeah,
I was one of them.
I don't know.
I was one of them.
I
bro.
remember taking his score, him dropping 30 the whole time. I was like, damn, he's
I was
good.
one of them, bro.
He's good.
I got to play at an open gym with him one time, and I was talking to him like he was Kobe. I was asking him questions. I swear to, I can't make this up. It was open gym. It was open gym at Fresno High, and I was like, bro, like what you see here?
Said, sign my shoes.
Okay, not all that, bro. But he was cold. So I was trying to learn from him, though, honestly, to keep it jiggy. So
you could have learned on Sundays when he was working out with Slater.
Oh my god.
And that's the thing that's probably the most frustrating part. And I was like, hey, we're not gonna let him dunk. We're not gonna do this. I remember Pablo tackled him. You remember that? Like Pablo,
for sure.
Pablo was the only dude who
he didn't care.
Yeah, I was like, hey, we're not gonna give up. My biggest thing was like, we're not giving up anything easy. I'm not gonna let this dude beat us. But my man, like I remember getting mad at Irving. I was like, that's what you get for getting dunked on because I told you stand up and take a charge, make him jump over you. But you literally backed up all the way underneath the hoop.
Hey, I think Icebox has that video, or you might have it on your camera.
Yeah, I got that.
It was
my man,
crazy,
what made it worse is my man, like 100%, he had his mouth open. Like he had his mouth, and the dude, like Daryl, put his sack right here.
And he fell like into the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders was like, oh. I was like, oh.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Irving, I love you. I know Irving was like coaching basketball at Hoover. I love Irving and all.
Yeah, my God.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no way if that happened to me, you'd ever see me in a gym in Fresno. You would never see me ever in a gym.
I'm pretty sure you never told that story.
And it was his senior night.
Yes,
too.
his
Senior
night.
That
was
his senior
right.
night. Like, damn. That's
You know what I'm saying? Never like. I'm never like. At least I'm leaving. I might never go to Hoover's gym. I might go in the gym. So I'm like, hey man, did you put? Nah, that wasn't me, dog.
Hairstyle.
Yeah, that
everything would change.
Not even. I'd be like, not even play hoops. I was just a football player.
Start lying.
You remember when you played football, Irving?
Yeah, bro. Receiver.
That team was trash. They didn't win a game either.
What was your favorite memory of Jeron? Your favorite memory of me? And then what was your worst memory of Jeron? Your worst
I got my
memory
memory for you. Okay.
I gotta go after you too.
Yeah. My best memory for him, you had like 41 game. I don't remember.
Against Reedley.
You had 40. It's funny. It's kind of crazy because I think both my games are going to be good for you guys. Are both going to be against Reedley. So you had, I think, the game at home. You had like 40. Which I also was like frustrating to see. Like, we lost, and we just kept doing the same play. You be on the right side, and somebody set a ball screen, and you just hitting that midi. You got that all day, which is funny now because I didn't see you shoot one mid range in the pro-am.
I've been working on my three-ball.
Yeah, no, he probably can outshoot me.
Yeah.
Now.
But he was, and it was one of those games too. Like I remember being frustrated because I think he had 40. I remember talking with your dad, but I was like, it was frustrating. I was like, damn, he easily could have like 50.
I was missing my free throws.
Yeah, he couldn't make a free throw.
Yeah,
and
we would practice that shit right before we had practice.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the thing too. I was like, damn, like this was one of those nights. I was like, it was special. And I think the same thing at Reedley. You went off from the three at Reedley. And I remember the coach coming to me, the Reedley coach, and was like. Who's that guy? Like, where has he been? I was like, he was in a shooting slump. Like, he's like, he's our best shooter. But like you and I don't know, you probably had like probably 6 to 8 threes. Like
I shot terrible at Reedley. I remember that.
No, like we won that game because of Tylere.
I shot
Tylere
terrible.
Had a flamethrower.
I think I had 10 points.
I'm gonna have to clip
like
this
that.
and send this shit to all my friends that never thought I could shoot. They'd be like, "Yeah, Tyler." No, I can shoot.
I had like 10 points the game at Reedley.
No, like we won that game, and like Tylere literally carried us, and he was just raining. Like he just went off like from the three. Just absolutely went off. All right, you know what the hell I'm going to say for your worst.
Oh, my God.
I'm low-key scared for my – I don't even know what my worst is.
I got your worst, too. So, yours – so, first of all, I remember being at Jordan camp. So, I remember having a – like hearing – you guys talked a little bit on the pod about hearing about him possibly like transferring. And so, we had that conversation. I was like, all right, cool. And I believe it was Chiz. Honestly, Chiz has always been a real one. Chiz always kind of let me know like the lay of the land. That's why I love Chiz. I have absolute respect for Chiz. I honestly think he's an unbelievable coach. I think he's probably one of the most underrated coaches in this section as well. But I remember that happening. And then we played Lemoore, which you talked about. And this man just played like hot dog shit. And I think my biggest frustration too was
hot dog shit.
My biggest frustration too was like we talked about in the beginning. You're like, oh, what do you think he could be? Like, I literally felt like he could have literally like I coached Colin Slater, I've coached Ethan Richardson, I've coached Donovan Mitchell, I've coached a lot of dudes who are playing professionally right now, right? At that point, at that time, like guys that I knew were going to be special, right? And then there's dudes I played with in college that played professional overseas, played in the G League. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, he had all that potential in the world. Like, I truly believe that. He also, did a little rapping. That was not something he had potential in.
I thought he had bars. I was like, oh,
just because you have one line, dog. Just because you have
I wasn't. Don't mean okay, Gerard, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't fucking with the name. I like your bars though.
They only take one hit.
There ain't no way you're 6'4". People calling you Ron.
It's a childhood name.
No, I'm just but no, like, and that was probably the biggest frustration. Like, I remember he just playing like terrible, and it was just like he just seemed like he just. And I think my biggest thing is I wanted him to be a leader, right? Like, be a leader. Like the expectation. I knew if, like, I'm always going to be tougher on my better players. Because if you're not tougher on your better players, right, like, then your worst players are going to be like, when I get mad at my worst players, they're going to be like, why? Like, you're not mad at them. So I'm going to be an asshole to the top players. That's why I was an asshole to you guys, because you're my better players. Because I expect the expectations are higher for you, right? I expect you to lead. I expect you to be the best. And so I remember just getting super pissed, and I'm just like, I remember. We were in the locker room, and I came out, in the weight room.
You didn't talk to nobody else.
Yeah, and I was just pissed.
Nobody else.
We got absolutely embarrassed. I was pissed at halftime, too. I remember I started Nathan Gale at the third quarter. And I remember Joel, like Nathan, I think Nathan outscored you that game, too.
No.
Nate had like 6 or 8.
I had a lot of turnovers that game. But I had a good scoring game.
Nate had like 8 that game because I remember like he scored like the first 3 baskets. He scored the first 3 baskets out of halftime. And literally Joel, like then I called a timeout. I was like, Joel, we're just gonna play. He's like, okay. And like Joel, literally after, it's funny because Joel, the Le Fore coach, was still talking to me about this, and he's like, man, I thought that's how you were gonna come back. He was like, we can't swat a special needs kid. Like we weren't gonna do anything.
We should have did that in the game. Shit.
But it was just one of those things. I remember just like we practiced for the 1-3-1, their little 1-3-1 like press zone, and like it was just like we just played like terrible. And I'm just like I think you were running from the ball too. Like you weren't like you didn't want to handle it. I think you were like running to the corner. Just,
I'm glad he was mad at you, not mad at me.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, hey, like, but also it's like everyone knows like he's the number 1 guy on the scouting report, right? So everyone's gonna swarm to him, and everyone swarms to him. He's gonna bring attention, which then opens it up for like shooters like you on the wing to get your looks. You know what I'm saying? But when one guy doesn't do their job, it messes up the whole thing.
Yeah, dude. So because of you, I'm not playing ball right now. Thanks, dude. You didn't do your fucking job.
Oh my God, bro.
So yeah, I remember being pissed, and my biggest thing was like, if you want to be here, be here. If you don't want to be here, I'll find some other people. And I remember telling them, and it was funny because I remember Alan Clem coming into the office. And Alan was just like, Coach, like, we was like, we don't need fucking Jeron. What's Jeron going to do? Like, we're out here.
Hey, and everybody was like, yo, Alan, shut the fuck up. Stay right here, bro. Stay right here. He's like, nah, I got to go talk to him.
And I was
He's
just like,
pissed right now,
and
too.
I'm just like, what, like, we ain't winning games with him. Like,
I was ready to go.
I was like, we ain't winning games without him. And the best thing was, too, we go the next game. I remember he came. My man looked like he hadn't slept all night. His eyes were super puffy sitting on the bench.
My boy was mad depressed after. I remember we was talking. He was like,
bro, that's
because I straight up
want
told
to talk right now.
He came into my office too, and I was like, I will literally sign off. I was like, I will literally make sure you can go to Fresno High and you can start for league. And I told him, I was like, every time you go to the basket, I will make sure we put you on your ass.
Yeah.
You better shoot mid-range and jump shots because, hey, your team might win the game, but we're gonna go Jordan rules on you, Detroit Pistons.
And my boy was about to sign football players.
Hey, they were trash.
At the line like this.
Who was it Michelle? Who was?
What about her? Double machine?
Yeah, I would have had to bring her out there because I know she would have tackled you.
Bro, after that game,
She's just as tall as Jeron.
After that game, Coach ripped me. I was crying like shit, bro, when I went home.
But then we played Sanger the next day. What happened?
I didn't play.
I know you didn't play. What happened though?
You came and apologized to me before the game. I remember that.
He wasn't gonna say that right now. He was not gonna say that.
But he was like, he told me all that. He was like, but you're not gonna play.
Yeah.
I was like,
hey,
nah.
And we won.
We did win though.
And we won, which was great. And I believe you like hit another like 5 or 6 threes that game too.
I was,
but that's why I was like, my point's proven.
He was like, see. I was like, bro, come on.
I was like, we don't need you.
We beat Sanger though. Le Fore was way better.
Right after the game, I was like, yo, Jeron, I need you to come back, bro. I'm tired.
We beat Sanger. Like we was, whatever.
I had to move a lot more.
Whatever.
We talked about the last part we had. I was like, hey, no, I'm not moving. You go. No,
I went home after the Le Fore game. I was like, man, I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm gonna go to Fresno High. I'm sick of this.
So what's your worst for me?
We played in Stockton, Merced. This is your junior year.
Where'd I go?
Fall.
Oh,
you know exactly what I'm talking
about.
We called a time. So Tylere comes, shoots a 3. And
I made it. I fucking made it.
I call a timeout. I'm like, hey, I want you guys getting to the rack. It was like a 2-on-1 fast break too.
I was like from half court, bro. I made it.
No. So we call timeout. We call timeout, and I'm like, hey, I want you getting to the rack. Right? Like, because we were settling for too many threes. The next possession, this man, like literally from like the volleyball line, another fast break, just comes down. Like he looked at me, catches it, and jacks it from there. And I was like, hell no. Hell no.
Hey, bro, I had to show my talent. He said go to the rack. I was shooting. I'm a shooter.
Bro,
I made it. This dude still yelled at me for making it. Not even like, hey, good shot. No, I do remember you yelling. And then I made it. He said, boom, timeout happened, bro.
And it was very next possession. I'm like, hey, I want you to get into the rack there.
I fucking made it.
Tie, bro.
And I was cashing too. It wasn't like it was like some lucky.
You know the crazy
bounce.
thing is too that we played like it was funny because it was against Clovis North, and we played them well. And I was like, oh, we're gonna be competitive. And I'm like, because I was like, hey, we can go. Because one of the things is I was like, I didn't want to settle like become 3 happy.
Forgot about that.
I don't want to become 3 happy because if our threes aren't falling, then that's how they go on the runs. And if we miss, it's a long rebound. I was trying to explain like the and I was just like this, and I was like, this was literally our first game. It was like one of our first games, like me coaching you guys. And
that.
I'm like.
That was my last junior varsity game I played after making the 3.
I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, this mother. Because I was like, this dude just going to out here literally look at me after I give him, like, tell him what to do. And he just going to be like, I was like, literally, I felt like this is literally Ty just being like, fuck you.
I made it, though. That's it.
Ty,
if I
bro,
missed,
that's terrible.
Bro, if I missed, I would have been like, yeah, nah, bench me. I need to be on, Frost team or something. But
This was another. I had told E about this the other day too. I remember one time I don't know if y'all remember, we played Carruthers. I think our senior year too. We went to Carruthers and it was like a good game, like a close game. I was telling them I had hit. Y'all remember that game? We played Carruthers at Carruthers.
yeah, I remember the Carruthers game.
Okay, well,
I remember going there. You about to tell me what the fuck just happened?
Because I played against my bro Elijah Clark that went to Reedley with me. We always talk about this game, but and it was a close
Carruthers?
game. Yes.
We went to Carruthers. There's no way
We went to Carruthers.
We went to Carruthers. Carruthers didn't come to us.
I got the huddle.
My guy, you went to Merced. You were going to Carruthers.
I got the huddle. I got the huddle highlights on my phone still. I can show you.
Hey,
I
first
swear.
of all,
I swear.
don't disrespect Merced. Merced got like 4 high schools. There's only 1 high school in Carruthers.
Merced's ghetto as fuck. Until you have to work out there,
It
it's
is.
ghetto as fuck.
I got a couple of my college buddies are coaches at their high schools out there.
So like it was a close game, and I hit like 2 like clutch shots in a row. But it's the same thing as like you was telling us like we need to try to get to the rim and get fouled because we was winning, and you was like we need to get to the rim right now, like try to get fouled. But my midi was on point in high school. You feel me? So,
No, you had a great mid range.
yeah, I was coming off a screen from DJ. I think it's a tie game, and like I said, I just hit 2 like good mid range jumpers, but it was a timeout. And Coach Le Fore was like, get to the rim, try to get fouled. You feel me? It's close. It's like I think it's like a minute left in the game. Come off a screen off DJ, and the big is playing back. I'm like, I just hit 2 in a row. I'm shooting this bit. Come off it, and as soon as I rise, like I'm in the air, Coach Le Fore is right next to me. All I hear is, we don't need I didn't even shoot the ball yet, bro. I'm in the air, and I hear him yelling from the sideline. I let it go, and I was so nervous. I was like, please go in. Hell no.
Nah,
I remember like the first year, like before Noah like broke his wrist, like Noah was like making like 4 threes.
Yeah.
And you were a better shooter than Noah.
I'm gonna clip that and send it to him.
But Noah listened.
Hey, I did too. Just that one time, and I made it. I'm gonna sit here.
Tyler, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's literally all you did, bro. You was not even.
And you played no D.
You wasn't even attempting.
I was trying to be the next Harden. That's what it was.
You wasn't even attempting to try to go to the rim ever, ever. If you caught it and you didn't have an open shot, you were swinging it back to somebody every time.
I had no problem with that. I was like, hey, be a 3 and D. Tyler was just, I'm gonna be a 3 and no D.
He was out there just like this.
I was shooting. You in my face, I'm shooting it.
Do you guys remember when was it? We were in the small gym, and like I ran you guys super hard, and then Marty started cramping.
Yeah.
And I remember just being like somebody's like, "Hey, Marty's down. He's like he's in pain, like his muscle, or whatever." I was like, "Man, go get Coach Johnson. We got to keep practicing. Push him off to the side."
Wait, I had a question before we go because
my bad.
No, not for you, for Ty, and it's about.
I gotta make sure I get that logo out there though.
Ty, what's your
no?
Yeah, what's your?
Oh yes, what are your guys's
memory like for him?
I guess worse. You still have your ball? You guys still have your balls for senior night?
Somebody stole mine, bro.
I do.
Okay.
I still.
I ain't gonna lie. That's one of the favorite memories for sure. Somebody stole my ball.
Do I still have my senior ball?
Tell me that was not a clean gift.
Bro,
yeah,
I'm sick, bro. Somebody stole mine.
Mine's still in the bag.
Damn. Bro, I'd like swear to God I wish I still had mine.
Tell me that was not a clean gift.
Yeah,
for sure. That shit was tough.
That was my worst memory. No, I'm just kidding.
Somebody I live in Fresno, bro. Somebody's dead ass.
I did
my
too.
name on it.
I bet you
My name on it got the
Jeron
hoop.
took it and went and played outside.
Somebody stole my
Your
shit.
brother
That
probably
ass,
took it and left it at the park.
Go ahead, Ty, you first, because you ain't answering no questions.
Let's see.
Best and worst.
I think my best memory of you, I was just talking about it with everybody. It was us going to that LA tournament.
Cal Baptist?
Yeah. Everybody wanted to ride with Coach Mike. And I was like, man, that's too many people in the car for me.
Nobody wants to ride with the head coach.
Yeah, I went with Le Fore. Yo, I think Marty was there. Marty knocked out, and then there was another player. I can't remember.
You sat shotgun, right?
We sat there the whole time. I remember playing a song by Tyga, and he was using Eazy-E's verse, but it was like explicit. He was like, and Lance, and it pissed him off that Lance had his blinker on, his left blinker on the whole grapevine.
Yeah.
Just every time he would turn, blinker, left blinker, he'd go to the right. I think that was my favorite memory of him though. Like,
I'm telling you right now, watch him play. You definitely could play on his team and be and benefit.
Nah, these motherfuckers are tall.
Yes.
They wait. I'm short. I should be point guarding it compared to you guys.
I'm right now. Well, my team right now, because we don't got all our players, I'm our tallest player right now.
Just
like I was in high school.
Hey, they might need to bring my man Nathan Gell out there.
Nate will go out there and give buckets,
He
bro.
get buckets, yeah.
I was just like, oh my goodness. I looked at that team.
Shout out my boy Big Nate, man. Love you.
You got a worse, Ty?
You got worse than what I said?
Yours was a bullshit worse. I made my bucket.
Bro, come on, man. They in there, Ty, bro. Come on.
They are. I think mine was the Sunnyside one.
What happened on Sunnyside?
You said, damn, you still. We
you
just
got a
talked about it. You
scar
still
from
forgot.
it.
Yeah.
But did I attack you personally?
No.
First of all,
I think that was just how everybody felt, and honestly, only because my boy Nate was in there, and I know how he feels when shit like that goes down. So like that made me feel some type of way at that time.
Nate would be hilarious though, because I would be yelling at you guys, and then I would be like, oh gosh. But then Nate would like double down on it and just start yelling at you guys even more. And I'll just
honestly, that's one thing I did not miss. Get yelled at by you, and then when Nate yells at you, you're like, fuck, what am I doing wrong?
And then
Nate's, come on.
And then Nate, I remember like I was getting frustrated at someone, and then Nate's like, you suck. I was like, yo, Nate, like calm down. Like calm down.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I got too many, bro. It's hard to say them.
Terrible ones or good ones?
Both. I ain't gonna lie. Both. One was the visits. That's a good one. Like,
I remember
first
time you ever had Farmer Boys.
Oh yeah.
Yo,
for sure.
I just had that. I think I was like 22, maybe 23. I had that for the first time. I was
How old
like,
are you guys now?
I'm 25.
Yeah, I'm 25.
Okay.
About to be 26 next month.
Me too.
Happy birthday, both of you.
Crazy.
When's your birthday?
29th.
Of August?
So you both graduated at 17.
Yeah.
It's crazy now.
Well, no, I still did.
No, my boy was 18 when he graduated.
I still graduated at 17. I was young for sure.
But that's
The good one is more like just like a funny one. I remember like I said, like my senior year, like I didn't really care for like really being there.
I don't think anybody cared about being there.
I didn't really care for like being there. So one day, you probably won't even remember this. One day,
you weren't showing up to school like all week.
Yeah, I wasn't showing up to school, and I hopped the back gate like during like third period of school.
And
I
knew you hadn't been at class all day.
Yeah, and I was like, I was walking. I was like, yeah, I'm about to go to third period or whatever. And I saw you, I think, walking the kids to class. I was like, oh fuck! Like Coach Le Fore see me like. And you were so serious with me. You was like, he's like, you just getting to school, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. And he was like you was quiet. I was like, oh hell, I'm finna be running that practice. He was like, you just coming to school. You just coming to school so you can go to practice, huh? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, my man. I was so scared because he caught me. Like I was. It's like 11 o'clock in the day, like third period.
I
I'm
knew
like,
all your guys' like class schedules, like where you're all supposed
This man
to be.
got me out some shit my senior year.
I was like, bro, I just got here, and he was like, you just getting here, aren't you? Serious ass face. I'm so scared, bro. I'm like, yeah. He's like, so you just coming to school for practice? I was like, yeah. He was like, my man. I was like, oh yeah, we good.
He said,
We
yeah,
good,
every day
bro.
11, I see you here.
He was like, see you at practice. I went to my third period class, bro.
Eh.
And then, bro, worse, I can't even. I'm gonna say a different one than the Lemoore game because that was for sure my worst. We could junior year had some bad ones too. You don't even remember. I can't remember what school we was at, but we had got cursed out in the locker room.
Y'all got
You was
cursed out like
talking,
almost
yeah,
every game.
all the time.
It didn't matter if we won or
Especially
lost.
I feel like we got more shit in my junior year for sure. I think. Oh, the one like I didn't expect. We was in. I don't even remember where we was at, what school we was at, but we was talking during halftime in a room, and we had to stand up. And Coach Le Fore was talking like I think he was drawing up something, but I think he got like frustrated out of nowhere, just like thinking about the game. He was like, because we're doing this, but we're not fucking. And bro, out of nowhere, bro, just skipped the pen, through the room. Swear to God, the bit went right on. I had a flat top at the time. I remember I had a flat top. It literally went right. I think so.
Was that at Fresno
Went
High?
right past my flat top.
I literally think that's at Fresno High.
Boom! Like I had to duck, bro.
It was like a little closet.
It was
like a
this,
little
yeah.
closet. There was no whiteboard.
It was
That's
Fresno High then. It was this close to hitting me. Like it went and it like shoot, and I was like, oh shit.
Hey.
But I was still trying to listen while he was.
He was so pissed off. We walked out. Jeron started laughing.
It was out of nowhere. Yeah, he threw it. He threw it. It was like because we're not. I got a question for you, Coach. So what is like what was it like transitioning from being like always like involved in basketball, being a coach, transitioning into being like a administrator? Yeah, like
so. I'll be 100% honest. I absolutely miss it. The only reason I even went into education is a coach, but there's just opportunities that just didn't happen. Like I know, like from Hoover, like I realize there's certain things that I know for me to be successful. Like I'm not trying to say. Like, I think the most frustrating part is like what people don't talk about. Like at Hoover, is your guys' senior year, we went 11-19. Weren't like terrible record, right? Mm-hmm. Did y'all know we had the winningest boys program on that campus? Did you all the sports?
Oh, in sports?
All the sports, soccer, baseball. We had the winningest boys.
Ain't no.
Nah. I can't lie. I knew they sucked.
Football
I thought we sucked with them.
Our football team was
baseball
terrible.
was terrible. Soccer didn't win it. You know what I'm saying? Like rest. Like that was probably the thing is like people didn't talk about like.
Oh, I'm gonna take that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like like your guys' senior year.
Give me that.
We had no one in the SRC.
Well, yeah, because Fly never went.
No. But no,
we all did shit.
No, I'm saying no. Fly never like during basketball season. None of y'all ever because I make sure you guys never got in trouble. Like if you got in trouble, they were coming to me first, and we were like Alan, Land. You know what I'm saying? Like I was gonna make sure, and they knew that. Like Ahmad, her. You know what I'm saying? Like they all knew like I was gonna give out punishment. Like I was gonna take care of it. Like you were gonna learn from that.
Someone fucked up. We was like,
and like another thing is too is my first year we had like 3 guys get arrested. Like my first year, y'all had a bunch of dudes get arrested, and then we had a bunch of guys who were ineligible. Yeah. Your senior year.
Wait, that was our class that kids got arrested?
When he came our junior year.
Oh no, just in the program. Just saying in the program.
Oh, I was like,
we had a bunch of dudes get arrested in the program. We had 3 dudes. I was just like, damn, this is different. And so, but then like your senior year, like everyone had over like nobody was ineligible. Like, and they talked about that was like the first time in a long time at Hoover that nobody on the basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Like there were certain things that we established, and I knew like, all right, we're gonna build and it was gonna grow. And like I said earlier, like I do miss coaching, and if looking at it now, I probably would have just stayed at like if I know what I know now, I probably would have just stayed at Hoover because I never got.
Would you go
back? Hell no.
Hell
no. Would you ever go back to any type of coaching again?
Yeah, like, and that's the thing is, like, I look for, like, knowing what I know now, like, there's 3 things that you need to be successful, right? Like, one, you need players that are going to work hard. And I think eventually we were getting to that at Hoover. I really, truly believe we were getting to that.
I feel like if you stayed.
Yeah, like, I truly believe we had that. Like, I really do believe, like, you guys started buying in, you graduated, but then the sophomores were all bought in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it was just, and like, nothing against, I remember if I was going to say none of those seniors, none of them were going to be on varsity. I was not keeping one of them. I think maybe one, I might have kept Herbert because he was on the team. But the other guys I wasn't going to keep just because it's like, why am I going to bring all these guys on that I'm going to have for 1 year? They're going to be gone. Let me build and, you know what I'm saying, work on the younger guys and build that. And it was going to be like a 2-year project of like, hey, let's prepare when these guys, and that class was pretty talented, like with Dwayne and DJ, but even like the other kids on JV, like they had a talented class, like Luke and, you know what I'm saying? Like that is solid class.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was going to build, but then I also realized like another thing you needed is like you need admin support. Like, do you remember, I think it was your guys' senior, we played at McLean. I think Marty got ejected, like a couple people got ejected.
Oh, yeah.
For fighting?
Because they slammed me, bro.
We just talked about that shit too. I got clipped.
We was
the
on
ball.
that. They slammed me. Yeah, for sure.
And then I remember we go, like, so there really wasn't, like, admin, because it's like, hey, they can't be in the game. They got to be in the locker room. It was like, usually, like, at literally every other high school in America, like, I'm no disrespect to Hoover, every other fucking high school in America, maybe, like, outside of Fresno Unified, but there's an administrator at the game who deals with that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, like, me and my coaching staff, like, Lance had to go deal with that. Like, I need him as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, every other high school in America is dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? I remember we went to Tylere, and I remember thinking, like, there's no admin here. So I was like, what happens if something happens? Like somebody gets ejected. I'm like, there's no administration to help. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the thing, too. And then another thing is, like you said, like, you need parent support. Like, your mom was an absolute saint. Your mom literally carried the program.
Her and Miss Liza, shout out Liza Nate's mom. They were blessings for sure.
They're the only two that like legitimately went to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember, I even tried to make sure too. Like I think I was the first one at Hoover who did this too. Was like I put your families on guest lists. I created a guest list so you guys like family could come.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, I don't want I want them to be here and supportive. Like I don't want them to have to pay because like let's be honest, like that gets expensive. Paying $5, $8 every
game,
twice a week.
So I was like, hey, let's like, you know what I'm saying? Like in your travel, I'm like, I want them to come and not have to have the burden of having to pay. So I was like, hey, we're gonna create guest lists. Like, put your family members on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I remember that.
And so like that was the biggest thing I was trying to do. And like I feel like at Hoover we would have gone to the parents because I think parents are starting to realize like, yeah, like you are for the kids. Like you're an asshole, but you for the kids. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the thing that I looked at and like I've looked at for certain schools. Like I was interested in 100.
When you went to Hoover, was it different though? Because I know as a kid going to Hoover, it was different of how highly we had like
the
that program. Yeah, like
respect the R word shit.
It was like we were real big for it. Like we would probably all go on the line for it.
This is the one thing I loved about Hoover. And I tell this to people all the time. I still to this day. I'm like, Hoover's special ed program is better than any other special ed program I've ever worked at.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's dope.
Yeah, that's fire.
You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, like you look at where this like the functional life skills and they're in the middle of campus. If you go to any other school, they're on the outskirts.
Yeah.
The special ed classes are usually on the outskirts of the school.
Else,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, hey, out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, Hoover, like, you look at the gym, like, they have the portable hoops. That's because of special education.
Yeah.
That's because of, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mrs. Baldwin, Michelle Carmichael, you know, Mike Hill, like, Pat Hill's son, Mike Hill, not Bullard Mike Hill.
Oh, okay.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, because they're, like, they wanted to make sure these kids had the same opportunities as every other kid. Like you look at the swimming pool in Hoover. What took them so long to build is because they needed to make sure it was in code for special ed. You know what I'm saying? Like Hoover, by far, I would literally challenge another school in America to do how they treat kids with special needs. I don't think there's not a school like I tell people all the time. Clovis Unified, like they talk about like there's nowhere close to what Clovis Unified like. They have no special ed department or what they have like at Hoover.
Yeah, go ahead, cool. Hoover. That's dope, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's the one thing I always admit. I could. That's why I said like I could see myself like being like being at Hoover because of the SPED, like the special ed department and all that.
Hey, when do you leave? When is your like leaving date? Actual leaving date?
My first practice is August 2nd, so I think I'm leaving on the 30th, so I could adjust to the time difference because it's.
You'll get there on August 1st, though, right? Like they're ahead of us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a.
Dang, you finna leave?
I might leave before. I don't know for sure.
Leave on
my
my
agent
birthday?
haven't told me the exact day. He was like, I just want you to come
That's
like
a long ass flight, too.
Yeah. He was just like, I want you to come like 2 days early so you could adjust to the time difference and like get some rest in. You feel me? So
we should get at least another pod before you leave.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, bro, I'm coming.
No, I absolutely enjoy this.
I'm gonna have to honestly appreciate you, Jeron.
Come on, man.
I'm just glad both of y'all, man. Like you guys are doing like amazing things, man. Like this is unbelievable, man. Both of you, dude. Like,
thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have a house, you got a family. Like both of you guys, like you guys are doing like unbelievable things. Like at the end of the day, that's an
all you can hope for, huh?
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, man. Like I'm just saying, like for some of y'all, man. I was like, fuck. I was like, damn. I was like, damn. Kind of question.
That's for sure. Well, Fore, thank you, man. Thank you for coming.
No problem, man.
Hey, isn't it weird? Isn't it weird calling him anything else other than coach? I'll be texting him, hey, coach. He's 25 years old. This guy hasn't coached me in years.
I still call anybody that coached me coach. I can't help it.
I do the same thing.
I can't help it.
I still do the same. Even like coaches that I played against. Like, I still be like, yo, coach.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. Like, it's funny, like, Sharky, rest in peace. Like, I was still be like, Coach Sharky.
Shout out to Sharky, man.
That's my guy.
Yeah, Big Mike, y'all hear about Big Mike?
I did.
Yeah. Bro.
Alvin hit me up.
Damn.
I still chat with Alvin. Alvin's one of the realest dudes.
He's funny.
Slow talking.
He's funny. He be looking at, hey, yo, you could have sworn he was the one that was lit when he came.
He was,
hey,
yeah, man. Alvin say you get the class. I be like, Alvin, get your ass.
Alvin knew anything and everything that was going on at Hoover.
Yo, he talked. I think the game that I seen you, your baby was she was still in that car seat, bro.
Yeah.
He comes and he's talking to my mom and Liza and talking about how he's like, man, it's like they're not even doing drugs no more. They got gold vapes and shit. Like he's like, I got a box of fucking gold vapes all just sitting in a room.
Kids is different now.
Yeah, Alvin and Lance, man. There's nothing that went on at Hoover's campus.
That was Craig and Day Day.
Yeah, they knew
every Craig and Day Day.
And every time I go visit Lance just he's just on the cameras and he just be like, boom, just whatever. And then we just be like, he's like, here, I'm gonna go for like, where's so-and-so? He'd be like, oh, where's Tylere? Second period. They about to get out. Let's see what Tyler's doing. And just follow
Walking
you.
with headphones on.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Them beats, huh?
I still got those beats.
Damn.
He'd be like, Jeron. And you'd be looking. Ain't nobody coming out of that class. You must not have been there today. Oh, no, look. He coming right here from the Z gate in the back.
Yeah.
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
Period, bro.
But I appreciate you guys coming on. We're going to have to do this again. I'm going to split this up. I think part one is going to go on Monday, and then part two probably go next week. I don't have to do a pod next week.
Yeah, this is cool.
We'll do one again, though. Appreciate you guys.
No, I had a blast.
It's all love. It's all love. Thank you.
About to catch another flight.